been blown away with what's gone on today and what I've seen and what I've learned and how exciting our future is through mapping. But what I want to do right now is to take you to a different space. I want to take you away from the city, and I want to put you out in the middle of the desert, out into terrain, and I ask you to ask yourself one question. Are you so connected, you're disconnected? So we're going to talk about the Rebelle Rally. But first, I want to ask you, how many people in this room are just so connected, so tied to their technology, they can't imagine spending 8 days without it? How many? Come on, everybody raise your hand. Okay. So the Rebelle is great because you're offline. But the big question is all the technology in the world is incredible until it fails. So the question is, do you have the human skill to get down the road, to get to where you need to go, to navigate your way without turn-by-turn navigation? So let's go ahead and talk about the Rebelle. So how many people in this room have ever been lost? Okay, I don't mean like lost going to like find the restaurant, or you're lost because you don't have your, the update on the latest traffic flow. I mean really lost, where it was scary, where you were afraid, where you were out in the middle of nowhere and maybe you were by yourself or you were with another person and your life depended on human skill. How many people have been in that situation? I have. So at the time, I didn't realize it, but that moment was really a pivotal moment for me. It was that moment where it would change my life, some of my profession, and the course of things. So I want to flash back to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, the sun was setting. I'm a washed-up professional race car driver in off-road. So 10 years ago, when I was actually doing it professionally for GM, General Motors factory team, I was on the Algerian border. I was in Morocco. I was maybe 10 kilometers from the border. The sun was setting. I had a teammate, incredible teammate, world extreme skiing champion, Olympic skier, and someone who was dumb enough to say yes to this crazy adventure I had asked her to do. And so I looked over at her. No one is around. We're competing. It's a shortest distance rally over many, many days, completely disconnected, and we are lost. And I look over and I realize Wendy was not doing okay. I asked her where we are, and she didn't tell me within 3 kilometers. She didn't know where she was in the world. She was dehydrated, her blood sugar had dropped, and right before that, we were crushing it. We thought we were really good. Turns out we were lost, really, really lost. We were the only Americans in the competition. No one spoke English, and there were no cars around. So the first thing I did is I thought, wow, okay, I should have paid more attention in that Coast Guard course where I learned navigation. But I didn't, so I say something dumb to her like, well, why don't you try to triangulate off that peak? Well, I couldn't remember what triangulation was, and at the moment, she couldn't either. At that moment, though, I thought I was a driver. It's not my job. It's not my job to be a navigator. My job is to be a driver. I'm a professional driver. At that moment, my job was to be a great teammate. And at that moment, I realized I wasn't. How many people here are great navigators? Great navigators. How many people here can use a compass? Yes, you can. You are a rebel. So, let's see. So what is the Rebelle? The Rebelle is a 10-day off-road competition. It is the first women's off-road navigation rally raid in the United States. It's 8 days of competition. There's no cell phones, no GPS, just you, your teammate, rolled up maps, a compass, road books, a list of coordinates, GPS coordinates, no GPS, no cell phones. Let me repeat that. No GPS, no cell phones, no connected devices. Just you and your teammate sorting it out, dealing with it, relying on human skill, and your third teammate, which is your vehicle. Your vehicle, which is a stock OEM manufacturer vehicle. Because the Rebelle is not a race for race cars. It is not a race for speed. It is just like the vehicles that you drive in your driveway. How many people have an SUV? How many people drive a Prius? Just checking. Okay. So competitors are put to the test to find over 100 checkpoints. Some are marked. She's very happy. And some are not. Rebels are literally searching for the needle in the haystack. So it's not a test of speed, but it's a test of efficiency, precision, mental, physical, and personal endurance. This is about human skill. So why am I up here? Why did I start this? I own a sports marketing company. Why did I turn my world upside down and take my passion for driving and start this crazy thing? Because you might say, sometimes people say, oh, it's a women's car rally. Cue, eye roll. Oh, that's so nice. Rally light. It is not. It is tough. If you want to know, you can ask two of these women who are right in this front row who've done it for the last 2 years. So my history was, like I said, I was General Motors factory racer. My job was not to be a token female in marketing. Our job was to test vehicles and to take that vehicle information and the data that we collected out in the field on the most beautiful race courses in the world, which is off-road racing, and take that back and turn it into changes at the factory level to make an impact on the vehicles that you drive every day. So I was fortunate that I was picked to drive for one of the most winning off-road racers in the history of the sport. He's an amazing guy. He has the longest string of unbroken race wins. He is now 80 years old. He's raced every single Baja 1000. He's won it 24 times in his class. And he taught me incredible lessons, and I wanted to pay it forward. So I started the Rebelle because of the things that I learned, and I wanted to pay it forward because we all sit here in these cities, and we're so connected. It's so incredible, the technology. But the most profound things that I have ever learned in my life have come off the beaten path, out in the middle of nowhere, where the lessons are hard, and they're hard fought, and they're hard won. It's incredible to drive in sand dunes. It's incredible to test your vehicle. It's incredible to test yourself. That's not me. That's a woman who learned, has 2 little kids at home, has a stock vehicle and wanted to learn, and now that's her driving in sand dunes. It's a life-changing experience. The outcome of the Rebelle is really powerful. I mean, you can imagine what it's like to just be offline for 8 days. Now, women, I just want to say that most women say, I can't leave, pack my phone away for 8 days. I have kids, I have a job. Somebody's going to call Child Protective Services on me if I do that. But not only do you become a great navigator, it's important because it strips you down to your raw core. It exposes your strengths, your weaknesses, and your communication skills. It makes you a better teammate. Navigation is metaphoric. It's not just about the lessons you learn about how to plot a latitude and longitude, because guess what? Rebels plot latitude and longitudes with a scale, or with a formula, or with long math. How many people know how to plot a latitude and a longitude on a map with just a slip of paper and a scale? Okay, I have a challenge for you tomorrow. How many, that was 2 people in this crowd of location data experts, can't plot location data manually on a map. Isn't that incredible? That's where we've come to. So this is taking us back and putting us in that place. Navigation teaches us how to communicate. It teaches us how to work better. It makes such a profound impact emotionally, physically, spiritually. You know what navigation is? They say, oh, it's the science of blah, blah, blah. You know, it's about knowing where you are, knowing where you're going, and knowing how to get there. That's it. But a navigator, a great navigator, does it precisely. So you're probably wondering, why an analog event like the Rebelle? What are we doing at Locate? Why are we here? Well, you can imagine, to make something like this happen, it can't be all analog. We have a powerful tech platform in the background. I want to talk tech, and so let me just tell you what happened to me. This is extremely profound, because I was just preparing this presentation. I got the deck ready, I handed it off, and I dropped a little tiny drop of tea on my computer. And my computer just crashed. It's not working. I thought the battery was dead. No, my computer's dead. Dead, done. I have no computer, so I did something totally crazy. I made handwritten notes. Yes, thank you. So, to pull off the Rebelle, to make sure that these women go out and have this incredible experience, we have to make sure they're safe. We have to make sure they're scored correctly, it's fair. There's so much that we have to do to make it come together. So let me tell you a little bit about it. We have to plot our course. We have to record and catalog over 4,000 kilometers of course options. We have to rate them, and then we have to share that data by interacting with the GIS systems and the staff of the U.S. Forest Service, the Bureau of Land Management in 2 states, 5 regions, 2 plush national parks, 12 counties, 4 OHV areas, and then the offices from permitting, safety, real estate, and filming. It's a bummer. Let me tell you, guess what? The GIS systems in all these different offices and agencies don't talk to each other. The maps don't talk to each other. I have BLM offices where with public land where their systems don't interface and talk to each other. So the amount of money, time, and insanity when we are here looking at what we're looking at, that it doesn't even work together. It's incredible. So you know what I see for everybody here? Opportunity. So then we set over 140 checkpoints. That means we go out and drive them. We check them. We catalog them. We rate them according to their difficulty, like a ski slope, green, blue, and black checkpoints. Some are marked, some are not, like I said. And then we build around the unmarked checkpoints and all the checkpoints, we build geofences. We build geofences, and then we like a big bullseye. And then we program all that information and the scores into a system, make that communication system work with our scoring online, so we have real-time scoring system, which you normally don't see in Rally. Then we parse the information. We have to parse out that data because guess what? The course is confidential. No one knows where it is. No one knows where those black checkpoints are because we can't allow human error of wanting to help someone who's lost and struggling and just wants to get to the next checkpoint. We can't give them that information. So I have a staff of 65 people. Whether it takes 2 cars to get down the road, or we have 60 competitors, teams, it takes 65 staff to get them down safely from Lake Tahoe through Nevada, some of the most remote places, to the Mexico border and through the biggest sand dunes in our country, safely, but also fairly. So everybody needs different data. So then we have to set checkpoints accurately, because guess what? Do you know how to take a heading and a vector on a map? You have to know exactly where you are. If you want to dead reckon, you have to have that exact data. You have to know that point has to be set precisely. If not, that competitor may fail. That could be their livelihood, it could be their recreation, but they take it very seriously. And then we have to execute it perfectly in the field, and then we have to tell the stories. So this is where Mapbox comes in. So telling the stories is incredible because you are not allowed to follow a team. Family can't come. People can't spectate, because this is about you and your teammate and your vehicle. It's about being out there. It's about being raw. It's about being put to the test. So that's it. So we need to tell those stories to the world. So basically what happens is, in normal motorsports, dots on a screen. How many people have followed endurance races and all it has been is a little dot on a screen? Okay, we do it all the time. Refresh, refresh, refresh. We wanted to do it differently. So, Bob, can you scroll down the notes just a little? So basically, NASCAR, Formula One, all those guys have it easy. They have a nice little closed course. We have this course that stretches 2,500 kilometers. We want to tell those stories. They have it easy. They have line of sight. They have compact spaces, and they have big budgets. They live webcast, they color commentate, they cover the winners. Our challenges are distance and logistics, the tech, but thank goodness, what about drones? The way you used to cover races like this, you had to cover it with a helicopter. Drones have changed the game. The tech, the connectivity, we're in the middle of nowhere, the distribution platform, and the financial cost. And you know what? And also the expectations. People have so many expectations today. You expect to be able to get on your computer and see everything. You want to see live inside the car. You don't care if the people are in the Sahara. That is what the public expects now. So dots on the screen are the norm. We had different requirements. People don't want to leave the map. So what we did is we wanted to tell the story in the map. The map is our interface. It's the interface for the competitor. I'll show you what one. We actually made some Mapbox maps on paper. Isn't that crazy? Paper maps. I'll show you a prettier one. Isn't that incredible? So, but we can bring the images, the video, the live, and the storytelling within the tracking interface. We needed to be able to do that. So people can get online. They can experience the place. They can learn about the history of the course. We're going to the places where the gold rush was, where they discovered, massive silver. They mined silver and built the fortunes of San Francisco in the early days. So we can tell those stories, and then we can also bring these places to life through video. We can serve images, social, video, recaps, storytelling. Go ahead and cue it up. So for a women's navigation rally, what we decided to do, we wanted to be taken seriously. We wanted to be a world-class event. To be a world-class event, we needed an incredible tech partner. We needed to put our map on steroids, a women's navigation rally with a map on steroids. So with Mapbox, we've started stories, but that's just scratching the surface. So what's next? Using an analog event powered by location technology, we'll connect, challenge, educate, and positively impact the world around us. Why? Because that's our mission. And we can do that through technology. And if we don't do it through technology, we're just a group of women running around in the desert with a map and a compass. But now we are a connected community. We today, in only 2.5 years, we have 120 rebels in 120 cities, 31 states and provinces, and 7 countries. So you, as programmers and designers and developers, think about the challenges we have, because we've just started. We haven't solved them all, but we have an incredible platform with Mapbox, but we still have some of these challenges ahead of us. But we have a mission. So why Mapbox? Why did we really choose Mapbox? So I will have to say, it's kind of funny, because I was fortunate to share a shot of top shelf tequila at the Detroit Auto Show with some guys that were sitting at the bar who seemed genuinely interested in a women's navigation rally. I thought maybe it's because it's a women's navigation rally. That's why they're maybe interested. But what I could see is in their eyes, they could hear my frustration of trying to marry all these technological challenges and the desire to tell great stories and to connect a community of really empowered people and make a difference in the world. They got it. But I took a step back. We did our research. I didn't totally trust it. And then I picked up the phone because I came to the conclusion that Mapbox was the right solution, but more importantly, Mapbox was the right team because they cared. So that person I happened to meet was Eric Gunderson and Alex Barth, if Alex is in here. So they are the right team. And as we've learned, and through the Rebelle, what it's really about human skill, and it's about being a really great teammate. So the question is that I have to leave you with is, as we talk tech over the next day, do you have human skill? Do you have what it takes when the power goes out, when your computer crashes, which mine has now crashed, when the lights go out, do you have Rebelle skills? So tomorrow, I want you to take our challenge. How many people are here tomorrow? How many people want to win our map challenge? Okay, so we're going to give you 15 minutes, 13 coordinates, no cell phones, just a paper map, a scale, and a ruler. And I want to know which one of you location and data GIS experts will win. So come find us tomorrow. Thank you.